Hello, everyone. I just learned good afternoon. Konnichiwa. All right, great. So I'm Arul. I'm a pre-sales engineer with Zoho. I usually do product demonstrations for prospective customers who are evaluating Zoho CRM. So today, we're going to talk about customizing Zoho CRM for your business needs, right? So this is a very important topic, and I will be covering most of the customization scenarios here. And if you have any questions, since we don't have enough time to go over everything, I would request that the questions, we can take it outside. We can have any questions answered at the one-on-one sessions, all right? Right, so, getting into the topic. Customizing Zoho CRM. Now, why would you want to customize a tool that you're trying to purchase? Now, you would understand that not every industry operates the same way. Now, when you're selling something, each industry has its own sales process. Now, even within the same industry, let's say, be it automobile industry, or real estate, or insurance, or any financial sector, each business can have its own set of sales processes. So not every business operates the same. So the first thing that you would have to do if you're trying to look out for a CRM or purchase a CRM is try and identify what you're looking to achieve using a CRM, and then customize it the way that you want to take your sales process. And once you customize, you give access to the other users, and they are looking at what you want them to see, right? So first, we look at what are the benefits of customization. The first thing is, yes, it makes life easier for all the agents who are logging into the system, because you're making them look at what they have to look at, and also making sure that they have access to all the information that they need, and they're not looking at things that are not necessary for a specific agent. Now, again, there are examples where not everyone using the CRM is a sales rep. There could be people who are from the marketing division who are also using the CRM. There could be people who are from the accounting division. There could be people who are from the administration, the management section. So in that case, not everyone needs to look at the same thing. So you can also make sure that each user has access to only relevant information that they have to look at. And most importantly, personalize the CRM for your industry, for your business needs, for your sales process. And that way, you always have the right data in front of you. Each user can have the right data that they have to look at in front of them, which makes the sales process much easier. And it can be customized a way that it's more specific to your sales process. So what can you customize in Zoho CRM? Now you can see here there are a lot of things that you have to customize. So it is the job of the administrator. You could have just one single administrator in your company, or you could have multiple administrators within your organization. So the administrator's job is to identify what you need to customize, and then pick and choose which ones you want to customize within the account. So you can see there are fields that you can customize, the roles of each and every user, the reports, the dashboards, the taxes that you want to apply, the fields that you want to create, how you want the homepage to look for each and every user or different sets of users. So pretty much everything within Zoho CRM can be customized. And we're going to look at the most important topics, pretty much cover everything during this session. Right. The first thing that you would want to customize when you log into the system is your personal information. Now, each user who logs in can enter their own names, give their own phone numbers, addresses, and also set up their time zones so that, if you have a team that's working out of different locations, for example, you have a team in Japan and you have another team working out of India, they are working in completely different time zones. So you can make sure that each user can set up their own time zones and also add their own signatures to the emails that they send. That way, each user can define their own personal information. And apart from that, you can also customize the business information. Now, this can be done only by the administrators, where you can enter the company's name, also add the logo. So when you're sending out invoices or quotes, you automatically, the logo is added to the quotes or the invoices that you send out. And you can also set up your fiscal year, whether you work from January to December, or back in India, we work from April to March. So you can set up your fiscal year, you can set up your business hours if you want to, so that when you're scheduling some meetings or appointments for specific users, you can make sure that it always falls within the business hours and it's not falling outside the business hours. So these two can be customized. So what we'll do is, we'll have a small demo on how you can customize your personal as well as your organization settings. Right. Now this is your Zoho CRM account. So once you log in, this is what you're going to look at. Now this is the home page of Zoho CRM, and you can see there are different components. Again, this can be customized by clicking on this top 3 small dots on the top right-hand corner, where you can actually go ahead and customize your home page. But the first step would be to get into settings and set up your personal and business settings or customization. So you click on setup on the top right. So this is where you have the general setup. First one would be your personal settings. Now this is where you can add your picture or your photograph. You can add your name, your address, your email address, your telephone number, etc. And you also have the option to set up the language. Now in case you have teams that are working in different locations again, and you want them to access Zoho CRM in their own language, you can go ahead and set up languages. Now, currently, I believe Zoho CRM supports 26 different languages, and Japanese is one of them. And you can also set up the time zone. So based, again, on each user's settings, each user can define what time zone they want to set up. For example, I was, at one point of time, working for the US time zone. Though I was working from India, I had the US time zone set up in my account. So whenever events are scheduled for me, they will always be related to the US time zone or not the Indian time zone, right? So that way, each and every user can define what time zone they're going to be at. And if they are part of a specific territory, or if you want to assign a specific currency to a specific user, because again, Zoho CRM supports multiple currency. So if you have a specific user who's in a particular location, and you want to assign a currency to that specific user, you can do it at a user level. You can do it at an organization level as well, right? Now, this is with regards to personal settings. Pretty easy, pretty simple. Now, once you've done that, the next option under General would be your business settings. This is your business information. As an administrator, you will have to give your own company name, have the option to add your logo, and the company address as well, the website address, etc. Now, apart from that, you can see at the bottom, you have the option to choose the currency. Again, if you have enabled multiple currency, you will find this option. If you have not enabled it, you will have the base currency set up there. And you will also have the option to set up the business hours as well. And apart from that, you have the other options like setting up your fiscal year, your holidays, and everything. So you can switch between the various options here and set up all the customization that you want to set up within the organization. So the holidays or the currency that you want to set up, the conversion rates, etc. And also set up the business hierarchy, how you want to share your data or how you want the hierarchy to be applied. Now, there's an option under users and the user settings where you can create different roles of users, set up the hierarchy from the CEO to the sales rep. Now, you can define here whether you want that hierarchy to be followed or you want to go ahead and set up a different hierarchy level by choosing the other option as well. So this is with your personal settings as well as your business information setting. Now, once you've set up your personal settings and the business information, the next step for an administrator is to go ahead and customize the layout of the CRM. Now, what do we mean by the layout? The layout is what you look at when you're entering a specific record or when you're looking at various modules within Zoho CRM. So the first thing is the different tabs that you see on the top bar. Now, we call them as the modules of Zoho CRM, be it leads, contacts, accounts, etc. We call them as the modules of Zoho CRM. So the first thing is for you to organize the tabs. Second is renaming the modules so that you can make them more relevant to your business process. For example, I might call them as leads. For your business, they could be something different. you want to call them probably prospects. Now, if you are into, let's say, educational sector, then you probably want to call them as students. Or if you're into a different sector, like in real estate, you want to probably call them as buyers or sellers. So based on your business process, rename the tabs accordingly. And in case you need to create additional custom fields, create the required additional custom fields and sections. And finally, set up different field permissions, because you might have a specific field which you don't want to share with another user. Probably that's a very sensitive information, and you don't want a specific role of users or specific set of users to see that specific information. Then you can set up field permissions as well. Now, when you want to create the custom fields or when you want to rename the tabs, etc., the first thing is for you to understand what the modules are for, what the different tabs on the tab bar really represent in Zoho CRM. Now, you can see there are a number of tabs. We have more than 20 different tabs in Zoho CRM. Out of the 20 tabs, there are 4 primary tabs or 4 primary modules in Zoho: leads, contacts, accounts, and deals or potentials. So what are these 4 modules? Leads are your first point of contact. These are people that you've never spoken to before. These are people that you'd like to touch base with, qualify, and see if they are interested in the product or the service you're offering. These are people that you'd like to assign to your sales rep so that the sales reps can call them and qualify them. So those are leads. Now, once these leads are assigned and these leads are qualified by your sales reps, qualified leads are converted to contacts. So contacts are more like your hot prospects or people with whom you believe there is a business opportunity. Now, during the conversion, when you're converting a lead over to a contact, the company the lead works for becomes an account. So an account is your company or organization information. For example, if you're trying to do business with Honda, then Honda is the company, and you might have someone working within Honda who's the contact. So there is one-to-many relationship between accounts and contacts. So within a single account, you can create multiple contact records. So if you're trying to do business with a particular organization or a company, you might have to be in touch with various individuals within that organization, so you can create multiple contacts. Now, the business opportunity that you have, or the amount of revenue that you're expected to generate, is going to be tracked under the deals module. We call it deals, you can call it potentials or opportunities. Again, it's a choice. You can go ahead and rename it. So once you identify what these 4 modules are for, this is where you play around in customizing Zoho CRM. So now you can go ahead and rename the tabs or rearrange the tabs. Sometimes you might not use the leads module at all. You know, what we usually recommend is if you have a defined qualification process, if you believe that you're going to work with a set of leads, these are people that you don't know if they are interested in what you're offering or selling, and you want to qualify them before you actually take them through the sales process, then use the leads module. But if you believe that every lead that I'm going to generate is a valid one, and these are people that are going to give me a business opportunity, in that scenario, you don't have to use the leads module, which simply means you don't need the tab there. So you can remove the tab from the top bar and just work with accounts, contacts, and deals as well. So we'll see how all that is done. So these are the 4 primary modules. So for a business, the first thing that you have to do is generate the leads. So for which we have a field in Zoho CRM called lead source. Now, lead source is going to define, what are the different sources from where you get your leads, the different avenues from which you get your leads. You can get your leads from your website. You can get your leads through an email campaign or a trade show or a conference. So you can go ahead and customize the different options in the drop-down field under the lead source. I'll show you how that's done as well. Now, once you capture your leads, you take them through the qualification process. And again, there is another field within the leads module called lead status. Now, this helps you to define or categorize your leads based on what happens during the qualification process. Now, we provided certain options like not contacted, contacted, or pre-qualified, or not interested, and so on. But your business can have different sets of qualification processes. So again, you can go ahead and customize the drop-down list in this lead status field so that you can make it more related to your business process. And finally, you have, once you've qualified, once you've categorized your leads, you then take them through the sales process. And that's where we have what's called the deal stage field. And the stage field is where you can go ahead and enter the various stages or the steps involved in your sales process. Again, we have provided options like qualification stage, need analysis stage, identifying decision makers, and so on. These need not be related to what business you're trying to follow or what process you're trying to follow. So in that case, you can go ahead and change the stages in the sales pipeline as well. And we will be seeing all that during the demo. Now, once you've defined the sales process, you've identified this is the process that I'd like to follow, the next step would be to find out what information you'd like to collect about a specific lead or a contact or a deal. Because it is you who knows your business the best. And we can give you suggestions from the pre-sales team, but you know what you want. You know what information I need to collect from my lead because that's relevant for what business I'm doing. Or these are the stages that are involved in my sales process, so you are the best person to identify what's needed for your business. So first thing is collecting the primary information. Make a note of all that in a piece of paper. Write down these are the information that I'd like to collect from my leads or my contacts or about the deal. Once you've done that, you need to identify out of all that information, which is the most important or the mandatory one, which are very necessary. For example, I have all my leads' names. I don't have any of their phone numbers and email addresses. That's pretty much a junk lead. I cannot do anything with that lead. How do I contact that lead? I cannot call them. I cannot email them. What if I don't have the address and I have field sales reps? How are they going to go meet them, right? So you have to identify which are the most important, necessary, mandatory information, and you will have the option in Zoho CRM to make certain fields as mandatory. So when a sales rep is entering that information, they cannot save a record without specific information in that record. And finally, once you've made a note of all of this, go back to your Zoho CRM, check if all the information are available in the CRM. Because we have provided default fields, most of the basic information are already there as fields. But again, your business is different, you understand your business better, which simply means that you will have to check with Zoho CRM if those fields are available. And if they're available, fine. If they're not, you can go ahead and create the required custom fields, and you capture all the information. So what we're going to see during this demo is we're going to see how you can rename the tabs, move the tabs around, and we're also going to see how you can customize some of the drop-down fields and create new custom fields and new sections within the CRM. Right, so the first step, go to your account. I'll go back to the home page again here. Right, so this is the home page. Now I have to start customizing my Zoho CRM. Rename the tabs or rearranging the tabs. I don't need some of the tabs here, so I want to get rid of them, or I want to create or rename them or create new custom fields. Click on Setup on the top right. You have a separate section called Customization here. Now under Customization, you will have Modules and Fields. Click on this to look at all the modules, all the tabs on the top bar. Right? I'm sorry about some of the English words there. That's because I've renamed them. And once you rename a specific field in a specific language, it remains the same. I couldn't change that to Japanese. I'm sorry. But if you want to rearrange the tabs, you want to remove some of the tabs that are not relevant. For example, if I want to remove leads, click on this. So you see all the tabs listed here. So these are all the tabs on the top bar. If I want to remove some, I can uncheck them, and they will be removed from the top bar. All right? So this is how you remove some of the tabs. Similarly, you want to rename a specific tab, just mouse over that particular module, click on Rename. You'll have the option to rename the modules here. So if I want to rename leads to prospects, I can rename it. and save it. And immediately you would find that leads has been renamed to prospects there on the top. Now, apart from this, if you want to create a new custom field, now you've written down all the information that you'd like to capture, and now if you want to go ahead and create new custom fields. Now, this is the layout of your record page. Your leads are going to look like this. This is how the various fields are going to be listed on the layout. Now, let's say you want to add a new field. You can see on the left-hand side, we have provided more than 20 different field types, So you need to be very careful when you're creating custom fields, because based on the information you're capturing, you have to select the proper field type, because that's when you can generate the kind of reports that you want. For example, a text field will accept both text as well as numbers. But when you want to generate a report, the text field will only give options like starts with, ends with, contains, etc. But if it's a number, then if it's a number field, then you'll have options like greater than, equal to, less than, etc. Right? So based on what information you're trying to capture, just make sure you choose the proper field type. All you have to do is drag and drop a particular field type. So for example, I'm choosing a text type field. I just click it, drag it, and drop it to the section that I want. Now I can drag my fields anywhere I want. I can place them anywhere I want. Just provide the field name and click on save to save the field. So this is how you create new custom fields. Now based on which edition in Zoho CRM you choose, you can create a certain number of custom fields. A maximum of 300 additional custom fields can be created within Zoho CRM. Now, all right. Now there's another set of customization that you can do that's called related list customization. Now related lists are nothing but related information about a specific record. For example, when I have a lead record, what can be related to a lead? Notes, activities, attachments, the other sections that are actually listed below a specific record. You also have the option to go ahead and remove some of them or rearrange the way they are listed. You can bring some of the related list on the top and then move something at the bottom, which is not that relevant to you. You can also choose what columns or what information you'd like to see within a specific related list. And we also have Zoho Creator, which is our own online database management tool that allows you to create your own custom applications. So if you want to bring that application as a related list and relate it to a specific record, you can also add that to a specific record. And how that's done is if you get into a specific lead or any record for that matter, so I get into prospects, let's say go into contact, sorry. All right, so if I get into this contact record, you can see I have all the contact information here. Now if I scroll down, so these are all the related lists that you see, starting from notes. And you can see all the related lists on the left-hand side as well, right? Now when I'm looking at a specific set, like for example, a task, you can see these are all the columns, the task name or the deal value or anything. So you can see the task name, task date, etc. So we call each of that as a related list. And you can see there are a number of related lists on the left-hand side. You might need some, you might want to remove some, so you can go ahead and do that. All you have to do is to add some of the related list. Click on the 3 small dots within a record on the top right. And this is where you can choose what related list you want. You have all the available ones, and you can move them to the unselected ones or selected ones, or move them back here and there. Or if you want to move them up or down the list, you can also choose to move them up or down the list so that they're listed the way you want. And if you want to customize the columns, so if you go to a specific related list here, so you have this small arrow at the extreme right. So these are all the different columns that are available in that particular module. So you can pick and choose which ones you want to add or you want to remove some. So if you want to add some, just select those and click on Save, they will be added as columns to that particular section. This is how you can also define what related records or what related information you want to see within a specific record. All right, so now we have chosen what information we'd like to see within a specific record. So this is about gathering information. So this is what we saw about how to arrange your related list, the tabs, etc. Now you've captured the data. The next step is to filter your data. Now you have all your lead and contact information within the system. So what are the options to filter them so that you can target the specific lead or contact that you want to follow up? So in Zoho CRM, we have two different ways of filtering data. One is creating custom views, which is applying a criteria so that any record that meets the criteria automatically falls into that specific bucket, right? So that's called custom views. The other one is using advanced and smart filters. It's an easy and quick way to just not save a particular view, but just immediately filter certain records in an easy manner. So this is how your records are going to be listed. So let's say I'm in my contacts here. So these are all my contacts listed. So you can see all the contacts listed here with their names and email addresses. Now you can see on the left-hand side, there's the smart filter options. So pretty much every field that's available within that particular module will be available as a smart filter option. So you can go ahead and apply a criteria and filter your records. So all you have to do is select a specific field. It's a number field, so you can see what options you see here. Greater than, equal to, this is what I was referring to. If it's just a text field, then you will have other options like starts with or ends with, etc. So you just apply a criteria and you click on Save. The filter will be saved. Now this is a smart filter. The reason why we call this a smart filter is because you can create filters not only based on the fields, but you also have the option to filter records based on other factors like whether the records have been touched or untouched, or that belong to a specific campaign, or notes that have been entered in the last couple of days, and so on, right? So if you want to see all the leads or contacts that have not been touched in the last 2 months, then you can apply a filter here and go ahead and sort your contacts and then contact them immediately. Now this is advanced or smart filters. Now if you want to create a view, you can see the views that I've created here. Now view is where you specify a criteria and you save that filter forever. So that way, anytime any record that you enter that meets the criteria will automatically fall into that bucket. So all you have to do is click on Create View, provide the view name, choose any criteria, apply a criteria. You can add up to 25 different criteria. Choose what columns you want to see. Just add them to the selected columns. And then you can also choose to share the view with the other users or everyone in the organization and save the view. So this is how you create a view and you filter your records. Now once you've saved this, it will appear as a view. So if you want to see all the contacts that have date of birth, you have the list here. So whenever I choose a specific view, only records that meet the criteria will be available in that particular view. Right, so this is how you apply the smart filter options. And you also have in the views, you also have a Kanban view. Now apart from the list view, you also have a Kanban view, which actually gives you more information about how you want to actually sort your records. And we also have a canvas view right now. So let's just go there. So this is the Kanban view that I was talking about. And you can also have a canvas view where you can upload the images of individuals and so on so that you can see all the information in one single go. Right? So these are other customization options available. Now once you've sorted your leads. Now it's time for you to follow up with them. So the next step will be to create templates and send out the templates. So there are 3 types of templates in Zoho CRM. One is an email template. So you can create an email template that you want to send out to your leads or your contacts or the various opportunities that you're working on. And then we have the inventory templates. The inventory templates are the quote invoices, the sales orders and purchase orders that you send out. You can customize those templates as well. And you have the mail merge template. So if you want to copy some of Zoho CRM's information onto a Word document, so that you want to send out, let's say, a soft copy or a hard copy, take a printout and send it out, you can use the mail merge template as well. So for that, you have to go again to setup, and under customization, the second option will be the templates. So this is where you see the email templates, the inventory templates, and the mail merge templates. So you can see that I've created a few email templates here. To create an email template, all you have to do is click on New Template, choose which module you want to create the email template for. Say I want to create it for contacts. I can choose from a blank template, or I can choose from any of the formats that I already have. So let's just say I choose a format, provide the name, the subject, and start adding images. So on the left-hand side, you can see the option to add images or text information. And let's say you want to automatically merge some of the CRM values. All you have to do is use the hash symbol, and you can see all the fields in Zoho CRM will be listed. So it will automatically add the string value here. So when you're sending out an email to a lead, it will automatically pull the information from that specific field in the lead record. Right? So this is with customization of your email templates. Now when it comes to your inventory templates, so this is the inventory templates. We already have certain quote templates, etc. So you can customize it the way you want. You can edit it and change it the way you want, or you can create a new template from scratch. We recommend that if you're creating a new template from scratch, we recommend that you try and use HTML rather than using the format that we've given. And we usually recommend not changing any of these options that we've already provided, the default ones. Right? And the mail merge template, you can use Zoho Writer. It's our own online word processor. Use that to create the Word document and go ahead and enter the information. So that's with the templates. So this is how the templates are going to be, and when you're sending the emails to your leads or contacts, this is how the templates will be listed. So what else can I customize? Now I'm not going to get into a demo session of this. Now we saw the basic customization, but we're going to look at what else you can customize in Zoho CRM, where we get into the advanced customization. So with advanced customization, we have formula fields that you can create. Now in the box that I showed, where there were 20 different types of fields you can create, you can also use a formula field so that you can use multiple fields, apply a formula, and get a value in that particular field. So for example, there's a default field in the deals module that's called expected revenue. So that's a formula field that gives the, it automatically takes the percentage of the stage value, multiplies it with the amount, and then you go ahead and calculate. So this is how you create the formula field. So you have the option to choose what return type you need, the functions that are available, and you can create the formula field. The next one would be lookup fields, where lookup fields are used to relate one record to another record. 3 types of lookup fields are available. A one-to-one lookup field, which is a single lookup field. A many-to-many lookup field, where you're associating multiple records to a specific record. So you have a multi-select lookup field and also a user lookup field in case you have 2 or 3 different owners for a specific record. So this is how you create a lookup field. And this is how the lookup fields are going to look like. You have the deal, you have the account name, and the contact name, and the vendor name. These are one-to-one. But if you want, you can create a multi-select lookup field and have multiple relationships as well. Again, an example there. So this is a user lookup field to calculate the owner or make sure who the owner is. And there's also encryption available. In case you're creating a custom field and you want to secure your data, you can choose encryption so that that particular field will be encrypted at rest when it's saved on our data centers. So that option is also available. And you can also create what's called layout rules. Layout rules is where you have different types of layouts for different types of leads or different types of customers. And also, if you have different sales processes you want to follow, you can create different layouts and have different layouts for your deals, so you can take the opportunities through the various sales processes. Validation rule is to validate the data that you enter in a specific field. For example, a phone number field should have 10 digits, and if somebody is entering only 9 digits, then there will be an error that's thrown telling that you have to have 10 digits in a particular field. Or you can apply it when you're giving a discount. If the discount or if a particular field value is more than 10%, then it will throw an error saying that you cannot give more than 10% discount. So these are examples of a validation. So if it's a discount, then it will throw an error. Similarly, a phone number, if it's beyond a certain digit or less than a certain number of digits, it will throw an error. Similarly, it can be based on a region. So it's related to another field. So if it's this region, you cannot give more than 10%. If this region, if you cannot give more than 15%. And finally, subforms. Again, a simplified way of adding more lines to a specific record. Again, you can add multiple lines as and when you're entering information. So this is, again, one of the advanced customization features. Now, any questions that you might have related to the advanced customization, I will be available outside. You can always come and meet me. And I think this is how the subforms look like. So it's the same individual, but the person has multiple houses. So you're capturing each house information in a separate line within the same record. So if he buys another house later, you don't have to go create another line altogether. You just click on the plus symbol, add another subform line. Right? All right. So thank you so much. So if you have any questions, I'll be outside, and you can always meet me and ask your questions. Thank you. Thank you so much.